Hey guys, welcome back to the channel that gives you the truth with a little bit of bias. Today we're going to talk about smart speakers. Should you get them? Are they any good? And we're going to put it in the context of Zimbabwe. I'm going to use the HomePod Mini as the example because this is the speaker I have been using for a long time. So in the context of Zimbabwe, I've been looking into the practicality of having a smart speaker. Can you really use it? How are you going to use it? What are the benefits? What are the drawbacks? The good side, the bad side? I'm going to try and break down everything. So like I said, let's start with the HomePod Mini. Let's go to the good side of the HomePod Mini. What are the things I like about this speaker? First of all is the build quality. Now, if you take a look at the speaker, it might be small, but the quality, as usual, it comes from Apple. And Apple is very finicky and very particular about the quality and the design of their items. So the design and the quality of this speaker is very premium, it's very top notch. Now, of course, not necessarily going to the bad side, but one thing I don't like is the different color options. So when it comes to the HomePod, I personally believe you must only stick to the dark colors. Stick to the dark blue, maybe the black. If you really want to experiment, really, maybe the orange, but you should definitely stay away from the white and the yellow options. The next thing I love about the HomePod Mini is the iOS integration. So when I say iOS integration, of course, how it works is it pairs with an Apple ID. So when you first set it up, you first take it out of the box, you're gonna pair it with a phone using an Apple ID, and boom, it's connected to the network. Any iOS device that is connected to Wi-Fi can control the HomePod. So it doesn't even have to be the same iOS device or the same iPhone that set it up. Any iOS device on the same Wi-Fi network as the HomePod can change the song, can play a new song, skip, pause, increase the volume, whatever. And I think that's a really cool feature. The next thing I love about the HomePod is obviously the speaker functions. So this is, of course, a smart speaker. Being a smart speaker, it works with Siri. Now, before we get into the bad side of Siri, we're going to talk about the good side. One thing I love about the HomePod is you can always tell it what to play. If you want to listen to something new, if you want to explore new music, you can definitely use the HomePod. The next best thing about the HomePod Mini is the sound quality. Now, you might take a look at the size of the speaker and think, okay, it's pretty small. How good can it be? But I promise you, whatever room the HomePod is in will definitely be lit up with a lot of sound. The bass that is on this speaker is comparable to some much bigger speakers. Worse, you can have a stereo system with the HomePod. So you can pair two HomePods together. One will be left, one will be right. You can actually add more HomePods if you want to make it more of a surround sound. But just the one HomePod, just the quality of this speaker, the bass it's going to give you, I promise you it will not let you down. Now, the other thing I really like about the speaker, of course, is the smart functions. Now, this is a big if. If you have smart appliances in the home that are compatible with the HomeKit, of course, you can pair them and you can give them instructions using Siri and your HomePod. So if you've got smart lights, you've got smart switches, maybe ovens or microwaves, whatever it is, heaters, bed, whatever you can think of, as long as they are compatible with the HomeKit, you can give those instructions direct from Siri. This leads us into the bad side of smart speakers. So if we use the HomePod Mini, what is the bad side of the HomePod Mini? There are three factors to focus on. Number one, again, it's this long cable that's sticking out the back. It only works connected to power. As I said, guys, we're in Zimbabwe. Let's look at the reality of Zimbabwe. In Zimbabwe, you've got power cuts, you've got power issues. Most people have to rely on solar or other energy alternatives to try and make, an option or backup power or something of the sort. So to have a speaker that only works connected to power is almost pointless. I think that's a deal breaker for about 80 to 90% of people who would even consider getting this speaker. The second bad thing about the HomePod Mini is that it needs a Wi-Fi connection. When I say it needs a Wi-Fi connection, I must emphasize it needs a strong Wi-Fi connection. If your Wi-Fi is jumpy, if you don't use unlimited Wi-Fi, if sometimes it picks up and it drops off, the HomePod Mini will be a terrible experience. So we use this speaker in different places, and at any one of those places, if I look back, we used to have Wi-Fi challenges. We had to resolve our Wi-Fi issues before we really started enjoying this. Now the third, and it's a bad feature, maybe it's not too terrible, is that you need to have Apple Music. Again, it connects with Siri, you have to have Apple Music, and it only works with an Apple Music subscription. It's not a Bluetooth speaker, so if you have a different device and you want to AirPlay it, it won't work that way. There has to be an Apple ID signed in that still has an active Apple Music subscription. At some point in time now, I didn't really experience this too much, but the experience with Spotify is not that great. Unfortunately, the thing with Apple is it likes to lock its ecosystem. So if Apple has an alternative for something, it doesn't want you to use anyone else. So Spotify works great on your phone, but when you're then trying to connect it to the HomePod, you're not going to have the same experience as you would using Apple Music. And of course, we come to the worst feature about the HomePod, and that is it uses Siri. Now, I am an Apple fanboy. I've been using the iPhone, I use an Apple Watch, I use AirPods, but anyone who uses Apple will confidently tell you that the worst thing to come from Apple is Siri. And unfortunately, this is a product that relies and focuses and amplifies those issues. Siri for a smart speaker is just not that smart. Hey Siri. What is the name of the Zimbabwean president?
The President of Zimbabwe is the head of state and head of government of Zimbabwe. Should I keep going?
What is his name?
I found some web results. I'll send them to your iPhone. I couldn't find your iPhone, but you can ask me again from there.
Capiche? If you have a strong accent, it won't understand. You have to learn how to speak. So many people I know who use the HomePod, they give it the instruction too fast. You can't just say, hey Siri, please do A, B, C, D, F, G. No, you have to wait. Hey Siri, you waited for the light up and pop up. Like I said, the experience with Siri is not the best. But when I do factor in the Amazon Echo Dot for talking about the Google Home, we come to the main question of, should you use a smart speaker? Do you really need a smart speaker, especially in the context of Zimbabwe? And I'm going to be honest with you guys, this is a luxury product. Most, if not 95% of you watching this don't have a single smart home accessory or smart device in your house. So basically you're getting this as a speaker. But if you're getting it as a speaker, number one, it's a speaker that has to have Wi-Fi, so it's not portable. Number two, it's a speaker that has to be connected to power at all times. So you ask yourself, is it really worth getting? Now, if you talk about the price of the speaker, HomePod Mini in Zimbabwe is going to be $150 to $200. Let's use an average estimate of $180. For $180, cheaper than that, I can get an Anker Soundcore Flare 2, I can get the JBL Flip 6 and the Flip 7. If I add a little bit of money on top, I can get a Charge 5, maybe slightly more than that, I can get a Charge 6. But again, look at all of those speakers. They're Bluetooth speakers, so you can connect them to any device, not just an Apple device, any device. They are portable, so they work with, I can take it out, I can go anywhere I want to go with it. But if you now look at it at the context of Zimbabwe, how you can use it, can you really maximize the value of it? The answer is you can get better value in, like I said, the Flip 6, the Flip 7, the Charge 5, you're in the same range. If you want to stretch a little bit, you can even go to the Charge 6. So that's been smart speakers. Should you get them? Should you not? It's up to you. Make sure you like the video, subscribe, don't forget to share it with a friend, and turn on post notifications so you don't miss a video.